Fascinated from.
I see. So it's like, it's very simple. So let me remove this for you. To those devotees who are already second initiated, no, but just to confirm that. So this is my right finger, right palm. You do it from the right palm, and you start from the ring finger. Okay, the ring finger, the middle of the ring finger. Okay. So this is how it comes to 10. Ring finger 1, 2, then you go to the small finger. 3, 4, 5. Okay. Then the tips of the finger. 6, 7, 8. Then the index finger. 9 and 10. That's how you chant. So either you're chanting like this or you're chanting like this. It looks the same. Let me show you like this. Yeah. So just say, for example, you're chanting any mantra. Say, I am Gurave Namaha. I am Gurave Namaha. I am Gurave Namaha. 3, 4, 5. I am Gurave Namaha 6. I am Gurave Namaha 7. I am Gurave Namaha 8. Like this. 9. Then 10. So this is how you finish the for 10. Okay. So if you wish to, this is the chant, this is the count, what we use, the kind of counts we use when we are chanting Gayatri. Okay. But there is another thing in puja, during puja, if we are doing this prokshana, you must have seen things like, like devotees doing prokshana and doing mudras and things like that. So there is a bijakshar. Then you do a bijakshar mudra, which is like infusing Krishna bij into the offering, whatever the offering is. Either it is bhoga, whatever offering is it. So for that, you use the count like this. There are two ways to count. One is very simple, continue like the same way. Instead of 10, you finish at 8. Like this, claim, that's also only bija mantra. That's only bija mantra. You do claim, 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 claim. This was the 8th. Or you do this other way. You start from here, not from here, from here. Claim, 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 claim. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Either this or that. Okay. And most of the devotees I have learned from, even including Pankajangri Prabhu, they start from here and finish here. Okay. So there's an alternative counting method, as we have published that here. That is, you come from this quarter and you finish in the index finger second quarter. Okay. Either you start from the ring finger second quarter and finish on the index finger first quarter, or you start from index finger ring finger second quarter and finish at the index finger second quarter. That's for the bija mantra. When you are infusing bija. So that is infused like, that is including samanya argha. Sometimes you may have to do samanya argha. So those things are okay. These things are all, as we understand, these things are all applicable, and it will make more sense to you when you are doing puja, doing worshiping. During worship, these things will become more relevant. And this is like, because it is so much connected, because Gayatri and worship are, as we understand, intimately connected, and one leads to another. So one must know both the processes. So that's the simplest count. So when you're counting, so just hide like you're counting by putting like the left hand over it. That's that. Okay. Yeah, I understand some devotees who are not initiated might find all of this very funny. I can see Jia Maji smiling, so it might find it very funny, all of these things. Yeah, of course, yes. It's like new things, so find these things funny. But that's how you do it. You hide your hand because the stricture of the Shastra that one must hide one's mantra. So that's how you hide it. That's how. Okay. So you hide it. Or you use a cloth and you hide inside the cloth. So it's okay. Yeah. So we see Prabhupada chanting. We have photographs of chanting, Prabhupada chanting, both with his both positions. One when his hands are inside the cloth, and even the hands are outside the cloth. So we have seen that. So then that's like the basic idea is the mantra should, the hand should be remain covered. That's all. Not necessarily a cloth. As we showed you the diagram, it's like in Gurukul, they chant like this with their hands on here. So then there's no cloth. So either of these things. So that is all about counting. And there are strictures in Yagyavalkya Samhita where it says that the count is for counts of 10 or more. Let me find that for you, that quote, because only a couple of days ago, somebody asked me that specific question. And I sent him that quote, I think yesterday or day before yesterday. Allow me a minute. Just allow me a minute. I'll find that quote for you. It's important that you see that quote. Yagyavalkya Samhita. Another. Yeah, this is there. Benefits of chant. Okay, it's not part of your. Yeah, it is part of the second advanced, or maybe it's part of the fifth one. Wait. Let me see if the quote had misapplied as part of your curriculum. Oh yeah, it's there. It's there, it's there, it's there. It's very much there. It's in page number. What is that page number? Page number 9. Okay. If you come to the session number 5 PDF, I'm opening. I'm bringing it for your perusal. Yes, Geeta and Ulekha, just coming to you. Just let me first address this one. Here, you see, I need a volunteer to read this out for me.
Merely reciting Gayatri destroys heaps of sins. Reciting it 10 times removes the sins committed from birth. Reciting 100 times destroys the sins of the previous life. Reciting 1000 times destroys the sins of the past 3 lives.
Okay.
Yagyavalkya Samhita.
So that's the idea basically. So this is the method we are following. So this is the method we are following. You might think that this other instruction says 108 times. So that is one instruction is there. This another instruction is there. So we are following this school. As we said, there are different schools. This is the school we are following. And according to this, we are chanting 10 times. And multiples of 10. Okay. Yes, Indulekha Maji, go on. And then we have to move to the next presentation.
That picture of hands, like in one there are 10 and in one there are 8.
Yes, that's what I was demonstrating for the last
Yes.
10
Yes.
minutes.
Yes, that I can say. Then why the difference is there?
As I said, it's for one is for chanting the Gayatri, and the another is for puja when you are invoking Bija mantra.
Okay.
For those devotees who learn puja, then they will understand the relevance of these things. That's why it's like so intimately related. But when you are doing puja, you have to do prokshan. That means called subtle cleanliness. For that, you have to use bija mantras. Just like the same bija. Om, 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 kleem, kleem, kleem. So those bija mantras are recited 8 times. So these are the way they are counted.
One more thing, Prabhuji. Can it? I do like one devotee can do like this. Like one day he's every day he's doing 10. Like sometimes he does 100 times also, guys.
Come again. One day he is doing 10.
10 times chanting, and some like he likes in a week or so he likes, then he's chanting 100 times also.
There is no restriction of doing so. As that's what I can say. There is no restriction on doing so. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the next presentation. Who wants to go ahead? This is the list. So we already had Kalpataru Prabhu doing his part. So now who wants to go next? Yuviti Gopasundari Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, I can go.
Would you volunteer?
Sure.
Okay. Fixing the mind. That's an important topic. Please pay attention.
So the very essence of all sadhana bhakti rules is to always remember Krishna and to never forget him. And all the rules that we were talking about in terms, sorry, somebody has a sound on, microphone on. So all the rules that we were talking in terms of cleanliness, posture, asana, and all the other aspects were meant to help us to establish a proper respect and proper attitude to chanting Gayatri, which is a spiritual activity. So if all the elements are present, that's supposed to help us to fix our mind on chanting Gayatri. It's harder to do it because the mantra is chanted internally without sound, as is mentioned before. The hardest way is to chant it without even whispering, to do it completely inside. But it's done for shorter periods of time. So with proper help and proper attitude, we can help ourselves do it attentively. Understanding the translations and the meaning of the mantras is supposed to help us to actually get absorbed in the meditation. And if we chant Gayatri at the right times during Santhyas, and then and we do it on time, then the presiding deity of the respective Sanghya becomes pleased with us and helps us, facilitates our meditation towards Krishna. And when Krishna himself becomes pleased with our sadhana, in the same way as he gets pleased with us chanting the holy name, he helps us to better our remembrance and helps us to absorb our minds. But our sincere effort is necessary for that. So as Srila Rupa Goswami said, that sticking to rules and regulations just for the sake of following rules and regulations is called Nyama Agraha. And it's just as bad as ignoring rules and regulations. We should always remember that the whole point of us observing all those rules that are associated with chanting Gayatri is to help us to remember Krishna, as with all spiritual rules that we have to observe. As it is an offense to chanting the holy name, to be inattentive, in the same way it's an offense to Gayatri to be inattentive, and it's synonymous with negligence. And the word that's used in Sanskrit that to describe negligence is called pramada, which is translated as madness. It's improper for us to chant without attention, and it's compared to us inviting Krishna into our heart, but not paying attention to him. without getting absorbed in Gayatri and fixing our mind, the chanting of the mantra will not yield the desired result. As we discussed in the course before, some of the words, for example, in Kaima Gayatri, they can apply to Krishna or they can apply to Kamadev. And those mantras are so powerful and so potent that if we don't do it without the right meditation, they might lead to different results. That's why this mantra is those mantras are supposed to be given to devotees who are already chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And it's essential to understand that those mantras have to be given by gurus. We can't just get them and start chanting in this way by our own desire. They have to be given by guru to a deserving disciple. And in this way, when we are ready for them, when we put in the effort to fix our minds, they can bring a great benefit to us. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Oh, that's profound and that's very comprehensive. Questions or comments? If devotees have questions or comments on this, that's a very comprehensive presentation.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Prabhu, sometimes we encounter that when we go for preaching program in Deva's temple, and we have to do Gayatri. So can we stand in front of the Devas and do a Gayatri?
Yeah, that's already, I think one of the presentations will be handling that issue. But anyway, since you have asked that question before, if during a preaching time, when you are already glorifying Krishna, so according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that Gayatri time can be skipped because I am engaged in Dhyan Stavam Yashasti Sandhyam. But that mantra can be chanted on later on. So there is no offense so far as the timing is concerned. So it is not that the Gayatri is being ignored. She doesn't take that offense because the person is already engaged in glorifying Krishna. So that's an exception. So, but then exception has to be used exceptionally. Okay. So that's it. So one very important point I felt that, Indulekha Majim, coming to you, just otherwise I might lose that point. As Yuviti Gopasundari Majid addressed that point, that the mantras should be coming from spiritual master in Parampara. The idea is, if you are looking for Krishna Prem, then those mantras has to be coming from a devotee, a guru, a Vaishnava, who has some realization. See, that's the idea. But if you're not looking for Krishna Prem, you can pick up any mantra from books and start doing that, whatever you want to do, and something will happen. But not Krishna Prem, that's for sure. I'm not going to get Krishna Prem, that's for sure. But something is going to happen. And whatever is going to happen, you will be liable for it. Okay. So you can pick up any mantra from the book and start that kind of experiment that is there, but that is not going to bear the fruit of Krishna Prem. So it's not that you chant a mantra, nothing is going to happen. Something is going to happen. There is no physical law that says that you perform a karma and there is no reaction. There is no law like that. You see? So that I do something and nothing is going to happen. I breathe, something happens. I wink my eye, something happens. You see? I walk, something happens. So you know something is going to happen. But that's not Krishna Prem. For Krishna Prem, you need that. It's from the authorized Vaishnava Parampara with the Vaishnava Guru. So with that, because it's a blessing. The instruction is coming, the blessing is coming, the inspiration is coming, all of that. Yes, Geetandulekha Maji, then we need to move ahead.
Prabhuji, I wanted to ask regarding this only because the first initiates, we have now seen the mantras. So should we learn the mantras by then or what should we do?
Don't worry about it. You will learn the mantras in a week. when you get your initiation, you will be learning the mantras in a week anyways. So, yeah, it's not required that you must know the mantras before your mantra is given to you. In fact, you are not even you are not supposed to know the mantras. That was the tradition. But such are the times that even after knowing the mantras, devotees forget mantras, then like they are given in a printout, then they lose the printout sheet, and they're looking here and there and chant God. Okay, I mean this is a very prudent thing. See, there is no way, at least in ISKCON at present, to verify what Gayatris are devotees chanting. See, just like the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, if you are sitting in a group and chanting, sometimes somebody might pat on your shoulder and say, Prabhu, what is this mantra you are chanting? It's so pathetic a pronunciation. Even these three words, Hare, Krishna, and Ram, I see devotees chanting for years, have hard time pronouncing them. I had this devotee who is like quite like aged, senior to me in terms of age. We came to Krishna consciousness around the same time. And he was like this very big leader for so many devotees, 50 plus devotees. He's taken care, and like big short kind of devotee, and this like big devotee as Prabhupada used to generally, like he would always pull legs of devotees, and he would say this leg pulling, big devotee. So that big devotee. And this big devotee, he was chanting one day. I was like quite many years ago. He was chanting the temple, and I was also chanting, sitting beside him. Generally, I don't sit beside devotees chanting, but it disturbs my chanting. But that day, it was like I was sitting in a circle. He was sitting right beside me and chanting, and I was also chanting. And he was chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Yam, Yam, Hare Hare. And I was like, Prabhu, later on, Prabhu, you know what you're chanting? It's like what? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I said you are chanting Hare Yam, 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 Hare Hare. You are not calling in Ramachandra, you are calling in Yamaraj. Hare Yam, Yam, Hare Hare. So it's like so many devotees, they don't even chant 16 words, letters. 32 letters, sorry. So sometimes Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare. So even the 16 words, 32 letters, they find hard time. And I'm talking about second initiated devotees. This devotee I was talking about was second initiated. It's not a joke. And we know that this, I'm not, am I discussing something which is like totally unheard of? No. So this is something which you chant every blessed day, 16 rounds, at least like around 1800 times. 1800, around 1800, like 1750 around names. And still, despite chanting it every day, we have problems. One can only imagine the Gayatri, the mantra, which we are chanting to our own selves. Nobody can hear that. It's only between us and Krishna. What are we chanting? So then, yeah, it is important. As Mataji, Yuvati Gopasundari Maji talked about that. So it's not that the Nama Aparad is for Harinam. That's one thing. And it's a fact. It's not that it's my commentary. It is the commentary of the same Padma Puran, because Padma Puran is talking about Nama Aparad. Padma Puran is not talking about Harinam Aparad, any Nama Aparad. Those 10 Nama Parads, they are equally valid for chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and chanting of Gayatri. That's a fact. Because generally it is, it's always discussed in relation to Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We think that it is for Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It doesn't write anywhere. If you read all the Sanskrit, it never mentions that it is for Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It says that it is Nama Parad. So it is either you're chanting the Naam or you're chanting the mantra in the sense of Gayatri, it's the same. Whatever applies for chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, equally applies for chanting of Gayatri. So yeah, one needs to be careful. One needs to be careful. All right, good. So that was quite detailed discussion. Let's move ahead and go to the next one. Let's see, what do we have here? So we again move up. And now, let's see. Okay, Krishnamurti Prabhu, are you ready for regularity?
Sure, Prabhu.
Go on.
So all the Vaishnavas who take the mantra diksha, so we are duty bound to chant the Gayatri mantras without committing offenses 3 times a day. So this is something which was like addressed like before. So what happens if based on circumstance, we are missing the like Gayatri mantra, like especially as it relates to like preaching purposes. So during preaching purposes, we might be coming across a situation where we missed the Gayatri mantra. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that there is no offense if it is done like like as part of the like preaching, we like happen to like miss it. Why it is not an offense? Because we are already engaged in the glorification of the Lord, and glorification of the Lord is the like essence of the Gayatri Japa. So because of that, there is no offense. Then what we need to do, if we are going to be missing the Gayatri mantra, let's say in the morning, so that needs to be like instead of chanting one set of Gayatri mantra during the noon Gayatri, we will chant 2 sets. So in case if we are missing the morning and noon Gayatris, then we are going to be chanting 3 sets of like mantras during the like evening Sandhya. So, but one thing we need to be very careful about is that this is not providing us with the like license to excuse ourselves. Or like, today, like I don't feel like chanting. So maybe tomorrow I will make up for like all the miss Gayatri mantras. It is going to be like, like offensive. But for because of preaching or like other services, if you happen to like miss it, then it can be like made like we can make it for the next like Sandhya. So
Yeah.
that's it. Thank you.
There's one thing. Thank you for bringing that in. Even this is not mentioned here, but you can take a note. You cannot chant previous day's Gayatri. That's the difference. There's a difference between Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and Gayatri Mantra, that you can chant the same day's Gayatri on the same day. But like you cannot chant the previous day's Gayatri on the next day. Well, that can be done for Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, that Rupa Goswami gives that no, this is not called question of advanced Gayatri. It's nothing called advanced Gayatri. Same sadhana. It's just like sadhana is for the day. Just like I cannot eat for in advance for like, like I couldn't have ate yesterday since today is Ekadashi. There's no such provision in the human body. So in the same way, there's no such provision like you chant your things in advance, because it is Nitya Seva, as we understand, it is Nitya. So then we do it when the time comes. Yuvati Gopasundari Maji. In the meanwhile, let me find out a couple of things. Yes, Yuvati Gopasundari Maji, go on.
I have a question about not being able to chant for the following day, because sometimes it doesn't happen too often, but for example, you have COVID and you are down in bed and you completely, because you can't chant Gayatri laying down or in bed. So I've done it before when I was sick for 2 days, and then the following, after that I got well and I was catching up with like 9 Gayatris or something like that. That's not the way to do it. Or I mean, what's the right?
For these things, you need to directly contact your spiritual master who gave you the mantra, and he can decide for you. Just like I had the very similar situation in 2020. I got brain stroke. So after the brain stroke, I was down, and then suddenly, I could like normally perform any sadhana. It took me around 6 months. So I approached my initiating spiritual master and told him that this is my stage. Now, and because I was not chanting my Hare Krishna Maha Mantra also during that time, I couldn't chant because all day long they will be giving me sedatives and I'm practically sleeping. And then there was paralysis also. So then I told him that I will search. I have an idea account for my chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Then I'll try to finish the chanting. And what should I do about my Gayatri? He said, forgo the Gayatri and just start from here. Like, but so far the chanting is concerned, he didn't forbid me not to chant. So then like that was my, so then like it's a case to case basis. I have also heard about a couple of other devotees who had that kind of problem. They approached the spiritual master and then whatever is can be done, can be done. Because as I understand the Gayatri, I understand maybe that was the reason he also didn't ask me to make up for the Gayatris, because Gayatri by its design is for like daily meditation. So how can you do extra meditation? It's not about the count of the mantra, but it's actually the meditation. So if you have missed the mantra, miss the mantra. So it's like that. Better to always consult the person who has given you the mantra, because these are anyways exceptional cases. It's not the regular case. So, yeah. So with that, let me show you something very important. It is there in Bhagavad Gita. I can show all of you. It's you'll find it very useful. You see, this is Bhagavad Gita, 8th chapter, verse number 14. And the word is discussing is Nityasa. Nitya means, you see the same word. Everybody was asking, like we're discussing daily Nitya. So you see, Nitya means Satatam or Nitya. They mean three things. End of sum of sadhana. You see? It means always, it means regular, or it means every day. Okay, that's an important citation. You might like to keep a note of this thing. So it depends. In some place, Nitya means every day. In some means it means regular. So regular does not mean every day also. It just means regular. And sometimes it means always. You see? That's like you can constantly remember Krishna and meditate. That you can do always. It's possible. You see? Certain aspects of devotional service, it's always you can do that. And certain things, a chanting of this mantra is like regular. You see? You may regularly chant the Gayatri, but you can always remember Krishna. Okay. So you can see that this is a very important part. Nitya, what does Nitya means? Different definitions of it. Right. Let's move ahead. And where were we? We had regularity with us now. Very good. So, Padmanetra Prabhu, do you think
Hare
like
Krishna. Yeah. Yes,
you
Prabhu.
would volunteer for pasture?
First, yes.
Okay, go on.
Hare Krishna. So, regarding the posture, so at the end of the day, we must understand that when we recite a Gayatri mantra, the idea is that to have utmost respect, because the Gayatri mantra is meant to address to the deity, to Guru, to Gauranga, and Sri Radhakrishna. So that is the whole idea of reciting Gayatri. So when we hear so many aspects needed to chant Gayatri, here we have posture also same thing. Okay, so when you sit and chant Gayatri, it is mentioned that the body should be erect, straight, you know. So that it is mentioned that when the body is erect, it helps to calm the nerves. It is mentioned that it calms the nerves, and also it aids the concentration while reciting the Gayatri Mantra when you sit erect. And he also mentioned that it is recommended that if possible to sit in Padmasana posture or Siddha Asana posture, because this posture can help to avoid sleeping, because we have tendency. So even I have a tendency, especially when Sunday program, we wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, and after program, so much of service, we come back in the afternoon, and we do our noon Gayatri. There's a tendency to fall asleep. So here it is mentioned that it is recommended to sit in Padmasana or Siddhasana position to avoid any kind of sleeping. And it also mentioned that we must breathe slowly. Okay, we must breathe slowly because it helps on the concentration, and also the mouth must be closed, and also tongue has to be still while reciting these Gayatri mantra. Like I said just now, the whole idea is that to fix our mind and our concentration upon the Lord. So that is why this posture is a very important aspect, because it helps for us to absorb and recite the Gayatri Mantra with the maximum benedictions. And also it's mentioned that while we chanting this Gayatri Mantra, it must be with utmost respect, and you must have humility. And also you must have feeling towards the mantra. So you can't artificially on the surface, you chant this mantra. You must chant deeply with a feeling. It is mentioned there. And also we must have a sense of surrender to the to Lordship, so to their name. So that is a very important aspect, that you must be very humble, and also you must have a deep surrender towards the Lord while chanting this mantra. And also it is mentioned that we also must pronounce every word clearly, and we should hear every word, so that that will help for us to have a full surrender towards the Lord. And like I said, the whole idea of this Gayatri Mantra recitation is that to remember Sri Radha Krishna. So that's the idea. And also it is mentioned that sometimes we have difficulties to hear the word when we murmur or we whisper, we chant in our mind. But it's mentioned that you're allowed to chant a bit loudly up to the level that you can hear the mantra. Okay, of course, we don't chant while where the other people can hear, but you yourself can hear. So you can go to that kind of volume or audible enough for you to hear the mantra. So this is what Prabhu I've learned from the notes. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so as you can see, this might sound a little, all of this might sound a little, what you can say, um, intimidating, a little bit intimidating. Okay, sit straight. See, reminded of your school days. Okay, just like you're going for the assembly, sit straight, and I mean that's like Indian schooling system. Yuvati Gopasundari Maj, you might find it strange. Now in Indian schooling system, right in the morning assembly, and there is a national anthem, and you have to stand straight like this. And if you dare to look this side or that side, immediately, like the physical trainer, the teacher will come and then they're gonna whip you. I got straight. Okay. So it's more about disciplining rather than anything else. So yeah, so the Gayatri mantra is not like that. It's not like that. And then immediately you have to be. So all these things are there because it is there to, maybe some of these regulations are actually good. Yeah, have you seen like sometimes in some yatras, they do these chanting seminars, Hare Krishna chanting seminars, and that they have these plays, these skits, these dramas, and we can see what are the different kind of people, this funny way people chant. Somebody is chanting like Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 all these things. It's like, and for an onlooker who might be new to our temple, and he says, "It's like, what's wrong with this guy?" I said, "No, like he's just chanting Hare Krishna. You want me to chant the same mantra, be like him?" Like, forget it. Forget it. So the same thing. But that's the same for Gayatri. So somebody is like somebody coming to our like temple, even to your home, and you say one of the members of he's like dozing off while chanting the Gayatri. And then it's like, what's he doing? He's meditating. So I had a different idea of meditating, right? So just to, like just to remain sane, just to live, just to maintain our sanity. So these are some of the rules that's there. But at the same time, we understand that we are not practiced yogis, or we are not like, not many of us might be practiced yogasanas. So it might find it difficult. So the main idea is do what the crux is, do whatever it takes to keep you awake and keep you alert. That's it. That is the sum and substance of the posture. Whatever it takes to keep you awake and alert. I've seen sometimes devotees like they're falling asleep, so they start walking. They're chanting and they're chanting Gayatri and walking. You see? They're walking to and fro, just like the japa walking to and fro, they do it, Gayatri walking to and fro. So you can do that, but that is called chanting in the mode of passion. That's called chanting the Gayatri in the mode of passion. Chanting in the mode of goodness is like you sit at one place and chant. Whatever, any form of worship, just like worshipping. If you're sitting down and worshipping, mode of goodness. Achaman, you're performing achaman, sitting down, mode of goodness. Taking prasadam, sitting down, mode of goodness. Okay? Giving a class, sitting down, mode of goodness. Hearing a class, sitting down, mode of goodness. So everything is this consistency, you see? There's a consistency. So whatever form of sadhana is done, so if you're sitting and doing that, that is considered in the mode of goodness. So if you're chanting and sitting down and chanting peacefully, Gayatri, that is mode of goodness. So you're standing and chanting your Gayatri, okay, it is better like than Tamagun falling off to sleep. So that is understandable, but certainly that is not mode of goodness. Okay, so that's the basic idea. All right. Let's go. Okay, other questions? Other questions on this? So you can see these postures have been given. This you can see in the handbook. We have given this sketches. Okay, so you can use these postures for chanting your Gayatri if you feel like that. And some people like they might have like a problem of cramps at the back, or in the neck. They might have sciatica problems, like medical. So then use a chair. You sit on a chair and chant your Gayatri. Okay. So what can be done? All right. So here we are. Next thing, we have got seat. Seat, sitting. Posture is there. Seat. Chaitanya Sankirtan Prabhu, are you there with us?
Yes, Prabhu.
Do you think you can lead us through the sitting posture?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, go on.
Chanting mantra, japa is the yagna, japa yagna. Yagnanam japa yagnosmi. We are meant to be worshipping Lord. So sitting bare floor is the like offense. It's aparada. So Haripati Vilas saying there are 8 points is there. So we should not do. It is considered aparada without sitting, and one should not chant japa without sitting, and while lying down sleeping, while walking, while standing, while path or an impure place such as a crematorium, while in a dark place, while wearing shoes, riding carrier, lying down, and or spreading legs. On the one should not do chanting japa. The only main thing is that seat means it is respecting for a presiding deity. We are serving that Gayatri, Lord Krishna. So it is respecting for particular deity. It is, we are in Archana Paddhati, we are doing asana seat. So it is Prithvi, we are calling Prithvi. So she is helping to remembering Lord and serving the Lord.
Okay, this is it's a very small thing, not a very elaborate, but the basic principle, as we said, sitting, the asana, the concept of asana. You see, we are saying we should always sit on a mat. The idea is rather than on bare floor. So sitting on the bare floor might sound or might look very humble. You see, the guy is very humble, is sitting on the bare floor. So that humility is there when you are sitting. You can take the humble position. But when you are worshipping, you must have an asana. Okay. So with all humility, take that asana and worship. That's best for worshiping. Just like sitting on a high seat and just like a Vyasasana. That is a position of humility. That's not a position of authority in a sense of position of that's not a high seat. Actually taking a very low position. You see, humility, with all humility. So the same thing, asana. Why? Because it's for worship. It's for worship. Why do we have a high Vyasasana? There's a high Vyasasana because there is a Bhagavatam sitting on a high seat. The seat is not given for the person, the seat is given for the Bhagavatam. Generally, people think, oh, I'm so special. No, you are not special. The Bhagavatam is special. And because you're going to serve the Bhagavatam, that's what makes you special. It's just like when the pujari goes on that altar, and the pujari thinks, I'm so special. I'm standing up there, they're standing down there. No. You are standing there because the deity is there. Otherwise, your position also among with those people. You're not special. So I'm not special. If the deities that's special, and serving of the deities, that makes it special for that time being. So the Bhagavatam is on that high seat. So therefore, you are on that high seat to serve the Bhagavatam. Otherwise, everybody else. So then the seat is important because we are serving. So whenever we are serving, when we are worshipping, there must be that asana. The asana is a position of worship. It's a position of worship. You see, position means it's a stature of worship, a place of worship, what you can call, just like office. It's a place of working. So similarly, asana is a place of serving. It's like that. That's why even whenever we are eating prasadam, there must be an asana. It's not like you have your plate of prasadam, just go and sit anyway. It's like that's how animals eat. But if you are serving the prasadam, which is honoring the prasadam, that's eating. That is like eating. It's like you fill the belly any which way you eat, no rules then. Okay. Eat with one hand, both hands, eat like eat like this, whatever, do whatever you like. Then you're filling your belly. No rules for that. But when it becomes part of worship, then it is honoring prasadam. There are certain rules. Part of that rule is to sit on an asana. Because this is Krishna. To serve Krishna, I need to be on an equal footing of Krishna. Asana gives me that footing, equal footing. So when I'm remembering Krishna, either by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra or by chanting the Gayatri, I have an asana. Krishna is on a pedestal and I'm coming to that equal pedestal to serve him. Same for puja, same for yagya, same for Bhagavatam, anything. You see? So that's why we have an asana. That's why the seat is important.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Right? Yes,
Hare
Geeta
Krishna, Prabhu.
Mataji.
Prabhu, sorry, Prabhu.
Geeta and
Prabhu.
Mataji, raise your hands first. I'm coming
Okay.
to you. I'm coming to
Okay.
you. Yeah.
That then the idea of dining tables should be rejected.
It's an asana.
That is also.
It's an asana. So you sit on an asana at least. Like you're talking about dining table. How about buffet? It's only horse eats like that, you see. But that's commonplace in ISKCON. That's commonplace in ISKCON. Any ISKCON temple, you can find that it's a buffet system because it's easy to serve prasadam. So let's everybody just want to do away with that thing. Do away with the preliminaries, no serving, no exchange. No exchange anymore. Just come, take your prasadam and go. If you feel more hungry, come again, refill and go. There's no bhumte bhojayate thing. It's all about just filling your bellies and go. And the temple authorities, they are also like relieved. 2,000 people done away in 1 hour. What do I care? So, I mean, these are like culture thing. And that's the same thing comes in our homes also. And when we invite somebody at our home, so I know in places like Delhi, devotees don't like to cook. They would like second it, they would outsource it to some caterers, quote and unquote devotee caterers. They will cook for 40 people, bring you give the Lakshmi, and that's it, and be done with it. Nobody wants to cook for anyone. Anyway. So yeah, Padmanetra, go on.
Prabhu, once I went for Rath Yatra. So during the evening Sandhya time for Gayatri, so it was noisy with the kirtan in the hall. So I walked to the side car park. So I just took off my chappal. I was standing and doing my Gayatri. So is it okay, Prabhu?
See, there are, you see, extreme situations call for extreme measures. That's all I can say. Extreme situations can call for extreme measures. So the rules are taught for 365 days a year. They are not taught for 1 day. You see? So you can take an exception for 1 day if the rest of the 364 days you are going by the rules. You see? So you will know how to break the rule when you follow the rule. So that's the idea. The idea is to follow the rule. So 1 day when you break the rule, you know that what can be what can be done the best. That intelligence comes from that experience of following that rule. But one who has not practiced following the rule, they won't have any idea what to do. So basically the idea is, because there is no such things, no? Like there is no exception handbook. So this is the Vedas, and this is, oh, wait, this is supplementary exception handbook Veda, where all the exceptions are written. It's not there. So, you see, That's is what can be said. Follow the rule to the best of your ability. And you might be excused the day you couldn't make it. Okay. All right. So let's do we have Rasa Sindhu Gopesh Prabhu? Rasa Sindhu Gopesh Prabhu. Do you think you can lead us with the last presentation for the day, which is place? Otherwise, we can do it amongst ourselves. I saw Kalpataru Prabhu raising his hand.
Yes, Prabhu. Regarding place only, I was having some query. In the funeral, when we go Samsan Ghat, so one can do Gayatri during Samsan Ghat.
That's not a place. It's a dirty place. Crematorium is not a place. The only persons who do sadhana in crematorium are tantrikas. Like the Vaishnavas, they don't do this. Crematorium is a dirty place. Do anything. Yeah. Chant Hare Krishna. That chant, you can chant Hare Krishna always, anytime. There's no Tattarpita Niyamita Smarana Kala. But I mean, Gayatri, clean place. Don't chant Gayatri too. Rather, after coming back from crematorium, it is always advised that you change the Gayatri thread.